let's jump right into this explainer, because today we're literally pulling back the curtain on the Outlier exam. We're going to break down the exact blueprint you need to take your gig work and completely transform it into a high-paying data strategy career. So if you've been banging your head against the wall trying to make sense of these AI labeling platforms, well, you're exactly where you need to be.
Right off the bat, we've got to shatter a huge misconception. See, there's this massive divide between what people think AI companies want and what they're actually willing to pay for. Listen, they absolutely do not want mindless clickers. You know, the folks who expect easy money and just kind of guess their way through prompts. No way. Instead, they are desperately looking to pay critical thinkers who actually take the time to understand the underlying AI logic. I mean, that is literally the secret sauce to unlocking those high-ticket rates.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the Outlier reality check. Number 2, the AI business logic. 3, mastering the evaluation trap. And finally, scaling to data strategy.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the Outlier reality check.
We really need to face the hard truth about why so many people end up staring at a giant, glaring, failed notice on their exam screens. The single biggest mistake? Approaching this like data labeling is just some brainless data entry job. Actually, our source, a global senior data professional, hits us with this brutal reality check right out of the gate. They say, think data labeling is easy money? That is why you are not getting paid. You've absolutely got to drop that easy money mindset if you actually want to succeed here.
Moving right along to Section 2, the AI business logic. Now here's the hidden engine driving why platforms like Outlier are paying you in the first place. Get this, they're not paying for the data. They are paying for the ground truth. Your real value to these massive AI companies isn't how fast you can click buttons. Your value is in establishing an undeniable factual baseline, which, in the tech world is called the ground truth. That right there, that's the actual product they're buying from you. And that brings us to a foundational technical concept you absolutely have to master, RLHF. That stands for Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback. This is the exact literal process by which AI models learn to behave properly. I mean, they aren't magic, right? They rely entirely on human correction, your feedback, to get smarter, to get more accurate, and to actually be safe for public use. Really let this sink in for a second. You are the teacher for the AI. If your data lacks integrity, the model fails. You aren't just doing some mundane data entry. You are the critical human in the loop, making sure a multi-million-dollar machine learning model doesn't just crash and burn. Bottom line, high-quality data requires high-level integrity. It's really that simple. All right, let's dive into Section 3, mastering the evaluation trap.
If you want to survive the evaluation trap, you need a solid task blueprint. So here it is. Step 1, check your metadata first. Step 2, ensure prompt adherence. And Step 3, prioritize accuracy over speed. Following this specific pro tip sequence is totally non-negotiable. Why? Because the underlying ETL processes, extract, transform, load, they demand total, absolute precision from the data you submit. If the data goes in wrong at the start, the whole thing breaks down the line.
And here is exactly where things go off the rails. The classic beginner trap, rushing. Beginners constantly fail these exams because they're obsessed with speed. They skim the text and completely miss these really subtle logic errors that the AI generates within the specific constraints of the prompt. If the response ignores the prompt, it is an automatic fail. No exceptions. You just have to be meticulous.
So, let's put this thinker mindset to the test right now with a super quick scenario. Imagine the prompt asks for Python code, but the AI gives you JavaScript. What do? Do you rate it slightly relevant or not followed? Think carefully about data integrity here for a second. The answer is not followed. Accuracy over speed, always. If you realized there's absolutely no partial credit when the basic instructions are ignored, then hey, congratulations. You're already thinking like a high-ticket data professional.
Finally, let's hit Section 4, scaling to data strategy. As outlined by the Online Income Hub, passing the Outlier exam isn't the finish line. It's honestly just the baseline. Once you've got this certification, you can take these data integrity skills and leverage them on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. You can consult for high-ticket clients and effectively position yourself as an AI data strategist. Think of passing the exam as basically a stepping stone to packaging your newfound skills into a highly lucrative freelance consulting business. It's a real game changer. When it all boils down, it comes back to this hard truth. Quality is your only job security. We're living in this age of rapid automated AI generation, right? So your human ability to guarantee factual integrity, well, that is your ultimate leverage. So I'm going to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought to chew on. Are you just out here chasing easy income, or are you actually building the expertise to become a high-ticket AI data strategist? Really think deeply about that before you decide whether to approach your next digital task as just a simple clicker or as a true AI teacher. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep building those critical thinking skills.